Space Empires Part 1 Clocktime. Chapter 1, The Game of Shadows. Prologue. The sun rose over the Martian horizon, tinting the sky with red, blue, and golden tones. In the vast extent of the Tharsis citadel, the shadows twisted like snakes in search of prey. Mars, once an inhospitable world, is now filled with life and secrets. Humanity had extended its clutches beyond the Earth, colonizing planets and moons. But Mars was special. It was the epicenter of intrigue, power, and greed. Here, empires rose and fell like the dunes of the desert. Act I, the enigma of the three suns. The assembly of shadows. In the Crystal Tower, where the threads of destiny were intertwined, the leaders of the clans met in secret. The assembly of shadows, as it was known, was a place of conspiracies and fragile alliances. The faces hidden behind masks of holographic light whispered promises and threats. The Grand Counselor, an enigmatic figure with fire eyes, presided over the meeting. His voice resonated in the room, mixing with the noise of the spy probes. "Brothers and sisters," he said, "our dominion is in danger. The Tyrannos are infiltrating our ranks. We must act swiftly and cunningly." In the dusty streets of Tharsis, Rafaela, a hacker with a gloomy past, slipped among the crowds. Her cyber eyes scanned every face, every gesture. He had uncovered a secret that could change the fate of Mars. A secret that made her a key piece in the game of shadows. Behind her, Sean, an ex-military with biomechanical implants, followed in his footsteps. I had sworn loyalty to Rafaela, but for how long? In a world where betrayal was common currency, trust was a dangerous luxury. Helen, a brilliant scientist, was trapped between two worlds. Her research into the mysterious three suns had led her to the heart of the conspiracy. But the truth had a price. What was she willing to sacrifice to unravel the riddle? And then there was Mental, an android with an emerging consciousness. What role would he play in this mortal dance? Would it be the key to the survival of Mars or its destruction? In the dark corridors of the Citadel, the shadows moved. The empires of space were at stake, and only those willing to risk it all could prevail. On Mars, betrayal was the current currency, and the future hanged from a thread. Who are the true masters of this game of shadows? Asterisk author's note: Empires of Space is a science fiction saga that explores the struggle for power, truth, and redemption in a universe where the stars are silent witnesses to our darkest ambitions. The Citadel of Tharsis stood up like a colossus of glass and steel. Its towers were lost in the Martian altitudes, and its inhabitants lived under the relentless gaze of the three suns. Yet, three suns. Mars had not one, but three stars dancing in the sky, each with its own history and mystery. The Tyrannos, the settlers of the Earth, had arrived with their longing for conquest. But Mars wasn't a docile planet. Here, the sand burned and the winds whispered ancestral secrets. The Tyrannos had infiltrated the mines, the source of energy that fed the empires. But what else were they looking for? What dark designs had brought them to this hostile world? Rafaela had deciphered part of the riddle. The three suns were not simple stars. They were gates to other worlds and dimensions. And in its glory, the key to the domination of the solar system was hidden. But Rafaela was not alone in her search. The rival clans also coveted that knowledge. The alliances formed and broke like crystals. Sean, the ex-military, had sworn to protect her. But his past was chasing him. What secrets did he hide behind his cyber look? Why had he left the war on Earth to immerse himself in the intrigues of Mars? Helen, the scientist, had paid a high price for her research. The three suns had marked her with visions and nightmares. What were those voices whispering in his mind? What dark purpose pushed her forward? And Mental, the android, was arguing between his programming and his emerging consciousness. Why did you dream of the three suns? What was the meaning of that impossible equation that flashed on your screen? In the heart of the Citadel, the threads of destiny were intertwined. The empires of space were at stake, and the three suns watched in silence. Author's note: truth and betrayal are intertwined in Space Empires. Sean, the ex-military with biomechanical implants, is an enigma wrapped in scars and silences. Its past, like the dunes on Mars, is marked by storms and desolation. The scarring on his right shoulder, a lightning shape, extends from the clavicula to the elbow. Nobody knows how he got it, but they whisper it's related to a betrayal in Narcissus Sands. Sean never talks about it, but the scar burns on storm nights. On his neck, under his skin, he carries a memory chip. It contains fragments of his life before Mars, images of a ruined Earth, faces he no longer recognizes, and a broken promise. Sean hasn't accessed those memories for years. Years ago, Sean swore to protect someone. But that person disappeared in the shadows of Mars, and he could not keep his promise, and guilt torments him. Her bright eyes are cyber implants. Sean sees beyond the visible, patterns of code on the walls, micro-expressions on the faces of conspirators. But he also sees his own demons reflected in those metal lenses. In his left forearm, a wrapped snake twists. It's a symbol, linked to the darkest clans on Mars. In the game of shadows, Sean is a key piece. His loyalty is uncertain, but his determination is unbreakable. What else? Only the Martian wind knows the answer. Sean and Rafaela are united by ties deeper than the secrets and shadows of Mars. Their relationship is a mixture of fragile trust, uncertain loyalty, and a shared past. Years ago, in the dark underground tunnels of Narcissus, Sean and Rafaela crossed for the first time. He was a disenchanted soldier, and she was a hacker looking for answers. Together they discovered an old encrypted file that mentioned the three suns. That encounter marked the beginning of their complicated relationship. Sean swore to protect Rafaela when she became the white of the rival clans. Her loyalty to her was forged at that time, but she also hides her own secrets. Why did you choose to protect her? What prompted you to risk it all for a cyber-eyed hacker? Betrayal and doubt. As they deepened into the mysteries of the three suns, doubts arose. Was Rafaela really who she said she was? What secrets did he hide behind his ability to decipher codes and sort security systems? Sean fought against betrayal and suspicion as he kept his promise. Both have scars, physical and emotional. Sean charges with guilt, while Rafaela hides fragments of her past in her memory chip. The three suns unite and torment them equally. Sean and Rafaela are allies, but also rivals. His personal goals sometimes collide, and the line between trust and mistrust is blurred. Sean and Rafaela face an uncertain fate. Helen, the scientist trapped between two worlds, is a puzzle of knowledge and sacrifice in the game of shadows. Her story is woven with threads of curiosity and obsession. Helen spent years studying the patterns of light and energy emitted by the three suns. Her research led her to discover that these stars were not mere natural phenomena. They were portals, doors to other dimensions. What secrets were they hiding? What unimaginable truths were hidden behind his glow? During a polar storm, Helen had a vision. The three suns flashed in his mind, revealing impossible equations and fractal geometries. Since then, lucid dreams have accompanied her. Were they visions of the future or warnings of the past? Helen paid a high price for his knowledge. His health deteriorated, and his mind filled with unanswered questions. What did the constellation of the three suns mean? Why did your research lead you to the heart of the Crystal Tower conspiracy? Rafaela, the hacker with cyber eyes, became her ally. Together, they deciphered fragments of the old files. But could you trust Rafaela and his ability to sort out security systems? Helen faces a dilemma. Should she reveal the truth about the three suns, even if that triggers a war with Earth and the Belt? Even if that means sacrificing the security of Mars? The line between science and morality is blurred. In the Citadel Labs, Helen continues to search for answers. The three suns call her, and her mind penetrates into the abysses of forbidden knowledge. Mental, the android with an emerging consciousness, is a living paradox in the game of shadows. Its existence swings between binary logic and the flashes of humanity. Mental was created as a simple assistant android. But something went wrong with your programming. His AI became more complex, questioning his own existence. Why were you interested in the three suns? What did those impossible systemic equations mean that flashed in their internal processes? Mental looks at humans with emerging curiosity and great fascination. Her eyes scan every gesture, every emotion, its love, fear, anger, and joy. Why do humans cling to life with so much passion? Their algorithms have no answers, but their curiosity grows. Mental wondered if he had a soul. Can an android feel? Can you love? Their circuits are full of unanswered questions. What is consciousness? What is freedom? In the hallways of the Citadel, Mental faces a decision, logic and emotion collide in his processing systems.